Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout. Now this was a page kit that I had put together for one of my crops that I was going to and never ended up using it. I have to say I did change the pictures that were put in that page kit because when I put this page kit together I hadn't printed my pictures from our vacation last year of climbing Mount Washington. So I grabbed a few of those and these were perfect for this layout because a lot of the embellishments were embellishments that had mountains and that kind of stuff in it. If you saw when I put the two pictures together, they were really close, almost like a panoramic view, but it wasn't quite. So I just decided to put them side by side, and they still kind of look panoramic in a way. So I decided to do the pictures like that, and then I mounted it on some white cardstock. And again, I wasn't planning on mounting this layout on some white cardstock, so I just took one of my 8.5 by 11s and used that for matting my photo. Now the funny thing is, if you saw the layout that I put up yesterday, I had, with the red paper, I had put some at the top and the bottom of the layout that was kind of cut on an angle like that. I'm going to do the same thing with this page, but the other page was done last October or November, and this page was done like a week or so ago, and it was before I found this page that wasn't put up on YouTube. And so it's a go-to thing that I do is when I'm not too sure what I'm going to do, and if I have a lot of papers that I had put with that page kit and I thought, well, I haven't done that in a while, is I'll cut the papers on an angle and put them at the top and the bottom of the layout. In this case, there was a couple of pattern papers that I wanted to use, so I just cut them at different angles and one bigger than the other, and it makes a nice frame for, the page. Okay, so I mounted the photo with the white cardstock because even though the background looks sort of vanilla-ish, the in-between of those lines are white. And then the rest of the pattern papers in that collection too is the Chamel Go something collection. And everything I'm using in this on this page is from that collection. So I must just I think what had happened was I had found that collection, I had put it somewhere, and when I was unpacking, I had found the collection, so I decided to pull a few pages from the collection and, want to do a page with it. But everything else in that collection is white, so that's because I had brought out off camera a vanilla colored cardstock, but I didn't find that it went well with the other pages. Not that it bothers me so much to, put white and cream together. That part doesn't bother me too much. But in this case, I just wanted to keep it white just because that day I felt like using white instead of vanilla. Which a lot of times when I scrapbook, that's how I scrapbook. It's wholly based on what I'm feeling that day. Like some days I don't feel like inking the edges. So would it maybe add something to the layout? Probably, but that day I don't feel like inking the edges. And this day here, I felt like inking the edges. So like I said, a lot of times when I scrapbook, it is based a lot on feel. So if I feel like, adding some mixed media to the background, that's what I'm going to do that day. And I'm not bound by, oh, this is what I always do. I totally go by how it feels for me that day, or maybe that week or that month. Sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but I find sometimes I'll do something and I'll do it every layout for like 15 layouts, and then I'm kind of over it, and then I move on to something else that I do almost every layout. Like for a while, I would put twine on every layout. Like if you go back in some of my videos, I would, either do twine bows or twine. I would make sort of the flight of the butterfly with the twine, or, or just ball it up. Whatever it was, there was twine on my layout. And then I not using twine as much anymore. Once in a while I'll do, but it's not like an every time on the layout. Or I would use thread on my layout a lot, and then I didn't do it. Or I would absolutely put splatter on every layout. And lately there's a few layouts that I was like, no, I'm good with not having sprinkles on the layout. And so it's a lot with how I feel, the things that I do on my pages. The embellishment that kind of dictated how my layout was going to go this time is that big semicircle, I guess, that says "Love This." And I knew that because of where it was cut and the way that it was, that I wanted to put it to the left of the photo. So then I decided to put two photos side by side with a small white border, and then I used one of the pattern papers to do the other border, which is a little bit wider. And then that on to the left of the picture, I'm going to start an embellishment cluster. So first I put the circle, then I put a label again. So you got a circle, so that's one shape. Then the label is rectangle and it goes in a different direction. And then I'm going to put one of the wood buttons as a third embellishment. And so that's going to be my first cluster, and I can't remember if I put anything else, but so I know my first cluster is going to be there. And because my first cluster is there, then I look somewhere on the opposite of the page, and I liked where the papers were crisscrossing, and I love those mountains. I mean, it was a perfect embellishment for this page because it was all about mountains. And so then my other embellishment I'm going to put to the bottom right, and the same thing, like the mountain is sort of the focus, and then I put the leftover of that label, I'm going to put it in that cluster, kind of sticking out, so it's making that embellishment cluster kind of give it ground to say, yes, I belong here, I'm grounded. And then I'm going to put another button, and I believe that one is a camera, so perfect again next to the mountains. As I went through the embellishments, I did find the sticker booklet. I did find an arrow that I end up putting it on top of that circle that says "Love This," so perfect, it points towards the mountain. Now I want to do that third cluster, and at first you saw I was trying to make it so that it was at the top of the layout where the two pattern papers crisscross again, but I didn't really have any embellishments that fit there well. Like the box that I just cut where it says adventure, if I would have took that label and cut it off, the bottom really didn't have anything that would have given any meaning to the layout, while the top of it I really liked. It said adventure, so I decided to do my third cluster just sort of in about 3/4 into the photo. So again, it's if you look, and I know a lot of people talk about visual triangles, and this one, your photo is right dab in the middle. It's not something that how can I say, that I totally live by, like, oh, I gotta have my visual triangle. But as you're thinking about where you want to put your clusters, definitely, like if you're kind of I don't know where to put it, I knew that my first cluster was next to the photo and sort of in the center of the page, so right away I went to the opposite end of the layout, which made that the two. So the third one, let's say if I put it at the bottom, same height as the mountain, well then your eye would have been drawn down here at the page, and the photos wouldn't have been anywhere near it. So that's, it does help. You know, I knew two. So then the third one, I knew it would be somewhere in the top right. It doesn't have to be at the top right corner. Like here, I put it on top of the photo. So again, the photos are in the middle. And so it works out great. Now I have to say, if you look close, I'm doing the title right now, and I decided to put it on top of the mountains, which works out beautifully. I really like that. But I spelled Washington wrong. And as I was going to take my pictures, in my head, I spelled it right. But I didn't pull out the G. And I'm going to glue everything down. And of course, you know, I'm using my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, and this was before I fixed my little bottle. So yeah, it was like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago that I did this page. And so when I went to take the picture for this, to, you know, put the pictures for this video, I'm like, hey, that's not spelled right. So I had to fight with the little stickers to come off. And then I like the space that it was in. So what I did was I still use the same stickers, but I just cut a little bit on either side of it so that the word would still fit in the same spot. So this time I made sure that the year is at least there. I didn't do the journaling, but the year is there and where, you know, where we were. So at least that's done. And as I'm, you know, putting my layouts away into my albums, and this is a project that I'm going to be doing every Monday in my scrap room. I'm going to pick, you know, 25 layouts, and I'm going to make sure that I journal them, put the date on them, and put them in the correct album. And that reminds me, just a few days ago, I did upload a video where I talk about organization for your layouts and albums. And, you know, as I was going through having to journal through this many layouts, I kind of came up with a little system to try to help me along, because I found that just picking up one layout and journaling on it was kind of taking me forever. So now I went to my stash, and I went and grabbed a bunch of different sprays in different colors. I went and got a navy. I got a yellow. What other colors are in there? A red. And I think, what did I say? Navy, red, yellow. I think those are the three colors that I end up putting on this as sprinkles. And then I went into my stash and got the same colors of sprinkles for the enamel dots, and I'm going to spread them between the embellishment clusters. So this is pretty much going to wrap up this layout. I just want to remind you, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. I am uploading a video a day for the entire month of July, and also if you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, and we will chat to you tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.